Respected President, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, my friends and guests, a very good evening to everyone. Just let me arrange myself. Yes. Am I audible and visible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me start my education session today on the effective mentoring, what I have titled my slide as the magic of mentoring. Now, if I would start, we all have mentors in our life, right? Be it our parents, our teachers, our cousins, our friends who have groomed us in some way or the other. Directly or indirectly. Some we remember, some we don't, right? Some makes a deep impact in our mind instantly, while some we realize much later. But a mentor is always there behind our every achievement. So if I would like to say about mentors, why not start it in a very interesting way? And what is more interesting, I don't know it's how much interesting to many of you, but celebrities impresses me very much. Either it's Hollywood or Bollywood. I have a lot of impression about them. So if I start with some celebrities, it will sound amazing, for me at least. Now we all know about Oprah Winfrey. As Toastmaster Aruna has already mentioned about Oprah Winfrey, yes, even my starting is with Oprah Winfrey. Now, do you know who was the mentor of Oprah Winfrey? Any idea? Let me tell you, she was Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was a singer, a writer, a social activist, and the first Black director of Hollywood. Now, when Oprah was asked about her mentor, she said in an interview, Oprah was always there for me, guiding me through some most important years of my life. Mentors are important, and I don't think anybody makes it in the world without some form of mentorship. Now, if we come back to India and we look back, even Gandhiji was mentored by Gopal Krishna Gokhale, who mentored him in terms of knowledge, understanding of Indians, and the issues facing common Indians. On the other hand, Gandhiji mentored Nelson Mandela, not directly, but indirectly, while Nelson Mandela said that he was highly influenced by the books and writings of Gandhiji. Let me change my slide. Now, since we are discussing Toastmasters, I would say it is always important to have a mentor. Before we delve into the world of mentoring, let us try to understand the difference between a teacher, a coach, and a mentor. A teacher is someone who teaches you something we don't know, and we look up to them to acquire new knowledge, right? There is a teacher present amongst us. Farah, you agree with me, right? On the other hand, a coach is someone who trains us on a skill, be it emotional or physical, as it is in sports. A mentor does none of this. He or she is there to unbox our potential, our latent skills, unbox our latent skills, and grooms and nurtures them to bloom. Now, if I give you an example of mentoring to understand better, which I have always taken to my heart, is about Dronacharya and Arjun. Many of you know about the stories, right? But have you ever tried to relate it with a mentor-mentee relationship? If you have not, let me tell you. We all know how Dronacharya gathered one day all his archery disciples. He hung a wooden bird and asked them to aim, right? When he asked, most of the other disciples saw the tree, the crowd, the bird and everything around it. But while Arjun was asked, he replied, Acharya, I see the eye of the bird. What it means? It means it is abundantly clear that Dronacharya was not teaching or coaching them, but was trying to unbox their hidden potential in focusing and concentrating. We all know Arjun had that legendary capacity to do so. Am I able to touch one point? Slowly and gradually, we will start knowing what is mentoring. If we discuss about mentors or the mentee program, the key points we need to note are: a mentor should be knowledgeable. This is the most important factor in a mentor-mentee relationship. He or she should be enough experienced so that he can guide you through his experiences in certain circumstances, and he should be willing to help. A person or a mentor who has knowledge, who has experience, but not willing to share will never ever make a good mentor. Let's come to the mentee part now. Now, I am referring to my slides as he, maybe I'm using the he gender more, but it implies to both he and she, okay? Take it as you feel. If you feel your mentor is a he, take it as a he. If you feel your mentor is a she, take it as a she. Now, since my mentors are always he, so I'm more comfortable using he. Now, he should be very much new to the competency. I'm speaking about the mentee. He should be very much new to the competency as well as open to feedback. If you get a feedback a bit on the strenuous side, it is because your mentor wants to make you perfect. Some people may mind about it. Oh my God, how my mentor has spoken to me, how rude he is, how he has given me a negative feedback. But what I would say, your mentor sees some potential in you and wants you to improve. That's why sometimes he tries his best, either in a worst way, but you have to take it positively. Coming to the third point, a mentee must, I repeat, must be willing to learn. If you don't show any interest, your mentor might lose his interest as well. Now I come to my next slide. There is a question. You can see, right? Who is a mentor? A mentor is a person who serves as a role model to you. It does not mean that he is a role model for everyone. Like, we all have different role models, right? Someone whom I might like may not be liked by you, or someone who you all might like may not be liked by me. But we have to keep in mind about the mentor that he should be a good coach and a good confidant. A mentor shares his knowledge, his perspective, along with his wisdom. It is very important that he shares his knowledge along his wisdom so that, we can take it more into the lighter side and we grab his attention and we start recognizing what he's trying to say. And he should be able to take personal interest in you and help you become successful. Why mentoring in Toastmasters? Let us try to understand. As in any sphere of life, how mentoring helps in our Toastmasters journey. Now, since a mentor is a learned guy, he helps you to learn the program with ease because he has that abundance of knowledge, what he needs to convey. He guides you to learn about your leadership roles, be it the club standards, be it the club customs, or be it the bylaws, the TMI bylaws. So a mentor is a person who, knows all these things, and he guides you towards all these things. Now, with his wisdom, this is very important. He helps you to develop confidence in speaking and encourages you to participate more. Now, what is most important in Toastmasters is, and what we learn in Toastmasters is the confidence, right? We have that phobia and this stage fright or that stage phobia, that is the second largest disease in the world, I would say, right? We all know about that, and how to overcome that fear of speaking, how to overcome that phobia is we need to develop confidence in speaking, right? So this mentor, with his wisdom, he helps you to develop confidence in speaking and encourages you to participate more. And what happens? The more we participate, the more we learn, right? The more we learn, the more we improve ourselves. It's not that the mentor is improving. As a mentee, the more we learn, the more we improve ourselves. Let me change my slide. Now the heading says, how does a mentor benefit? Now it is not that only a mentee benefits from mentoring. Even a mentor does so. I, being a mentor, I have felt what I have benefited. There is no ending to learning. And as a mentor, when we guide someone, we do learn in the process. We start to refine the skills we already have, right? And as well, in refining our skills, we unknowingly learn new skills. So this is all a process of learning for both the mentor and the mentee. There are a few benefits to the mentors, which I would like to mention. In the slide, it shows learn from their mentees, remain productive, do something for others, receive recognition. Now, if I would elaborate it, we remain productive, in return, we learn something. We feel happy that at least we could help a person in a way to shape him, right? When you mentor someone, we try to shape him in a particular way which we think is right. And in return, we receive recognition as well. Now, if a mentee does well somewhere, either in the club contest, or he is speaking in a conference, or he's speaking on a stage of a larger crowd. So when he does well, and if someone comes up to him and asks, oh my God, you have spoken so well, you were not at all nervous, you were so confident. How did you learn about all this? This is a skill, right? And how did you learn? So what will the mentee say? You know, this is all I have been groomed by my mentor, right? And then the next person will ask you the first question. Who is your mentor? And then your name pops up, right? So there is always a feel-good factor when someone praises you. And those are the small, small memories we carry along our life. It has nothing to do with our profession. It has nothing to do with something else. But these are small memories which we carry all along. And when we are at the later stages of life, or when we are not in Toastmasters, or when we are sitting idle somewhere, we try to remember all those memories and then we give it a big smile, right? That is more than enough for me as well. As Indians, if I would like to give you an example of a mentor-mentee relationship, as Indians, we all know what Sachin Tendulkar means to our sporting pride, and most of us also probably know who gifted him to us. Who gifted him to us? His mentor, Ramakant Achrekar. If you go to YouTube videos, you can still see Sachin Tendulkar, saluting his mentor, putting some flowers. I don't know what you say when you put flowers to a mentor, but putting some flowers in front of his photo. And also that is how much of respect he has for his mentor. Now, if you read through the stories of the growth of this child prodigy, we realize how fulfilling it can be for a mentor to see someone being nurtured flourished and being recognized. Now the Olympics are going on, the Tokyo Olympics are going on. The same applies for all those dedicated mentors for the lives of PV Sindhu, for Lovelina Borgohain, for Mirabai Chanu, and so on, who is breaking new barriers in their careers every day. Now, it's not that when we mentor, we earn something, or we are benefited, or the mentee is benefited. It is as well to the club. Being a mentor, it helps you in bringing more members. You know, it's the word of mouth. It is spread that this member is from this club, and this member has guided him this way. We have seen him doing so well, and so and so. So this is the person. So when you are a mentor and you are in a particular club, a person asks, which club do you belong to? And so it indirectly helps you in bringing more members. The more members we have, probability is that we have more satisfied members, right? In Toastmasters, we never see anyone going unsatisfied. It's very rare, you know, maybe just 10% of people goes away unsatisfied. Others are all satisfied. So more satisfied members leads to what? Easier member retention. Nowadays, in pandemic times, in our part of the world, as Toastmaster Arnold and Mr. Tarun will agree with me, we are struggling for member retention. Due to various reasons, we have huge job loss here in this part of the world, basically in the Gulf. We have members leaving the country because they are not able to survive here, and many other issues. And I am not familiar with your circumstances, but yes, I will definitely talk to you all once the meeting is over. Let me come to the next slide. What it takes to be a mentor. This is very important if you are a mentor or planning to become a mentor. You should make yourself available and be very supportive in nature. That is very important, that you be very supportive in your nature. You have to be very patient with your mentee, as you don't know how he or she will react to you in the beginning. He may start asking you absurd questions, will give you weird ideas, and you will totally have no idea how to deal with it. So you have to be very, very patient with your mentee. Though it becomes a little easier as days pass by, and both the mentor and the mentee becomes comfortable with each other. But yes, initial days needs your patience. You should be a very good listener and assess him what he wants from you. You should try to understand what he is trying to tell you, because in some cases he might not be able to convey the message what he is trying to. So if you are a good listener, it will make you a little more on the receptive side, and you will be able to grab more, or get his attention more, what he's trying to tell and what he wants from you. You should also be very respectful towards him and his thought process, and deal with him with empathy. It's not that you are a mentor, we know everything, or almost we know many of the things, and a mentee might know anything, might not know anything, because he's such a new person to the entire system, and he would not be able to correlate himself with the entire process. So he might tell you something absurd. So we have to be very respectful towards his thought process, and we have to deal with him with empathy. That is very important. We also need to be very flexible to his ideas and take him into confidence. He should be able to confide in you what he wants to convey, his message or his thought. He or should feel comfortable with the mentoring relationship. It's not that, sometimes it happens that the mentee is always hesitant to call the mentor. Oh my God, I don't know how he will react. I don't know how he will speak to me, whether he will scold me or tell me something. So, so that's what, you should be able to make him very much comfortable with your relationship. And sometimes, as I've said, that he might have a weird idea, but we need to deal with it tactfully, respecting his views. It's very important. You may change his ideas, what he is having, that weird idea, but you need to deal with it very, very tactfully with due respect to his views. Now, if I see the next slide, it shows the mentoring areas. So what are the mentoring areas we can work on? We can categorize them into 3 subparts as speaking and development. Number 2, the leadership and understanding of roles. And number 3, prepare for the contest. It is not that a single person will be knowledgeable in all the 3, right? We can't excel in everything, right? In fact, I cannot. Many might be, but I cannot. I do agree that we have many members who excel in all the 3, be it the speaking, be it the development, be it the leadership or understanding of roles, be it the prepare for the contest and everything. But I would say they are very, if you don't mind, Zoom Master, yes. Now, what I feel as an experienced Toastmaster is we should always have different mentors for different roles. In fact, I do have different mentors. Now, Tarin will agree with it to me that I have different mentors, and my mentors are not from my home club. A mentor is there is one mentor who guides me for speaking. There is another mentor who teaches me the leadership roles. And there is another mentor who teaches me the procedures and the plans of the contest. So, but I am basically more into leadership rather than being a speaker. And my mentor is very supportive towards me. I do ask silly questions, as I have said. I do ask silly questions. I have started right from the beginning. After 1 month is Toastmasters and after 11 years of Toastmasters, I do ask silly questions. That is very common. And my mentor handles me patiently, listens to me. He is flexible towards, and he does thrash me sometimes. But as I have mentioned in my previous slide, you have to be very open to the feedback. Am I able to relate the things? Are you all getting it? Can I hear a yes or a no?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Now I come to my next slide. It's the kickstarting the mentoring sessions. Since we have discussed about the nitty-gritties, it's time to emphasize on how to start it. Now, how we start it? As a mentor, we should be very well prepared. We should sit with the mentee and know him, know about his ideas, our projects, know about his ideas, his thought process, and so on. So as in Toastmasters, we need to complete our projects as well, right? When we proceed through the pathways journey. So we should also guide them in achieving their roles as mentors, how we guide them in helping with their pathways, which we refer to as the mentee success plan. Now, first, what I have been doing is ask your mentee to self-assess and then come back to you. He or she, now I'm trying to be a little specific, he or she should have a clear idea about why he is in Toastmasters. Sometimes people come, they don't have any idea why they are in Toastmasters, they are completely blank, they go vague, and then they leave Toastmasters. So it's very important for the mentor to ask your mentee to self-assess. He should, excuse me, is a Toastmasters, and then start to build the rapport with him and give him constructive feedbacks. If you have to give any suggestions, do it in a very subtle and subdued way. Like what I do is, when I give for suggestions, I say like, as for suggestions, had I been in your place, I would have done it a little bit differently. No, I would have started that. I started that way, and then you proceed with your feedback, so that you start in a subtle way. He doesn't feel hurt in front of people. So sometimes what happens when you are an old Toastmaster, you are going to get a harsh suggestion, you are going to get a harsh feedback from anyone, but a new person does not know that, right? So you have to be very, very subtle to him. So the initial days are very crucial to retain a member. Once a person is addicted to Toastmasters, yes, he will be there, either hook or by crook. But in the initial days, it's very crucial to retain a member, and it is always advisable to start in a soft note. Please keep in mind, it's advisable to start in a very soft note. Yes, as days pass by, he opens up to you, he gets comfortable with you and your views and your ideas, and then you may talk to him in a direct manner. Next slide is the mentoring steps. Now, for mentoring steps, I have heard that different clubs follow different rules. It's not that TMI is same for everyone, but we do have some club rules, right? So what we practice in our part of the world is, we do assign a seasoned and a knowledgeable mentor to a new member from our side. It's assigned by the VP Education, and then he thinks that which person will be better for this mentee and so on, and he assigns from his side. So we make it a point that we sit our mentee and orient him to the club customs and procedures. He gets familiar with all those things. So now, as I've said, every club has different set of rules from the others. So it is important that we familiarize our mentee to those. Now, a mentee has absolutely no idea how to go ahead with pathways. Now, if you all remember, in the traditional path, it was very easy, right? We had the manual, we had to read the instructions, we follow the instructions, and when we prepare our projects. But in pathways, trust me, I find it very difficult. I don't know about you all, but I find it very difficult. And I have my DTM in traditional path, and I did my DTM in 2019, and I'm still stuck in level 2 in pathways. So just see how I am not familiar with pathways. So when a new mentee comes, so he also has absolutely no idea how he has to go ahead with pathways. So we need to sit with him and then help him sign up, how to sign up in sign up in the pathways, how to log in the Toastmasters, how to sign up, and show the basics of pathways. It's very important that we show him the very basics of pathways and help him to prepare his icebreaker. We need to guide him how to write his speech, how to deliver. But please, I repeat, please do not go into too much of details in pathways, as it might scare him and he runs away. Even now, I feel like running away with pathways. So just imagine what will happen to a new mentee. So be very subtle and start with a very slow and steady process. The mentoring also cascades into multiple sessions. Follow-up sessions are always more engaging and involve significant amount of deep diving to make the conversations more meaningful. So the next meetings would typically involve something like the following. So it is very important to let your mentee know about the resources available in TMI website. You can also share some wonderful videos from the YouTube which you think will be helpful to him. Always provide a positive feedback. This I have been repeating in many of my slides. Always provide a positive feedback after his first speech. It's very important, because I remember when I gave my third speech and I was attending a speakathon. I spoke in a speakathon, and the harsh evaluation I got from an evaluator, who is in fact a mentor of me now, but the way he evaluated me, I cried the entire day. And for another 3 months, my husband has to push me to go to a Toastmasters meeting. Whenever the evening of the Toastmasters meeting comes, I used to cry, because I don't want to go and I don't want to get all those suggestions and all those feedbacks. So it's very important to give up his positive feedback, at least for the first 3 speeches, and start helping him with his other speeches as well. Share your success story. Let him know how mentoring has let you learn so many new things. Invite him to other events or other clubs. Now we have access to the entire world, right? So invite him. If you are invited to any of the clubs somewhere in the world, take him along or take her along. Invite her to other events, other clubs. Acknowledge his progress. Very important you acknowledge his progress. Tell him how he has improved over time. Explain about the roles and responsibilities of club officers. Explain to him how we conduct our contest. Describe about the organization. It's very important we explain to him how we conduct the contest, because we never know, he might be the world champion from our club, right? So he needs to very well know about the conduct of the contest, how it goes, about the timings, about the rules, about the regulations and everything. Now, if all the effort goes from the mentor, the mentee too should have some responsibilities, right? So a mentee, whether it's a he or a she, should be eager to learn and open to new ideas. He should be loyal and very receptive. It's not that your mentor is telling something and you will put your own views and do it. No, because your mentor knows much better than you. In Toastmasters particularly, I'm not talking about other fields, but in Toastmasters, your mentors knows much better than you. And be grateful. The mentee should always be grateful. And it should always be mutual. If the mentor is grateful for learning something from him, the mentee should also be grateful, because you are learning more new things from him, right? The mentor works hard for your progress. He gives his time, his effort, and everything. He is working for your progress, and you need to be very, very grateful to him. That is, in fact, what I feel. And my slide shows a finite relationship. A mentor-mentee relationship should always be finite. Yes, your relationship may be infinite in some other ways, in some other relations, but in Toastmasters, what I feel is it should always be finite. Because if you stick to one member, how will you know what the other mentors have in store for you? You never know, right? You'll be sticking with him, you'll be talking to that person only, you'll be taking ideas only from that person. And you absolutely don't have any idea what the other mentors are doing. So it is recommended, and I also highly recommend that you have different mentors for speaking. A different one for leadership, a different one for contest, a different one for your speaking, and so on. Dear Toastmasters, let me show my slide. Yes. Let the journey begin. A journey where we share experience and grow. A journey where we learn together as mentors and mentees. And of course, we benefit and our clubs does the same, right? Now, I had the fortune to be on the receiving end from some amazing human beings as my mentors. Now you can see some pictures of me holding trophies and medals and ribbons, everything, right? So this is from, if I go to the first picture, yes, it shows I've been holding ribbons and medals. All this is in the District Toastmasters Annual Convention in 2017 in Bahrain. It was a wonderful moment, and at that time I was the club president, and those were all the medals and ribbons which I have received as the president. So that is from my side. I just wanted to flaunt, you know. So that's what. So next is it's coming to DTM Abraham Thomas. DTM Abraham Thomas is a very well-known face in the Toastmasters fraternity in District 105 in all the 4 countries, Jordan, Lebanon, UAE, and Oman. So my mentor is the DTM Abraham Thomas, who has guided me in every single step. How to run the area when I was the area director, and he groomed me how to run it, how to plan my DCPs, how to work on it. And then ultimately I became the president's distinguished area director. Then I was the division director last year, and then alongside he was my division advisor. And it is not that he used to advise me, he used to take every pain whatever I had as a division director, because it's not that in this during pandemic times, it's not that it's a very easy journey. As a division director, yes, we had to struggle a lot. The member retention was our main issue, and also chartering of clubs and all those things. So it was a huge issue. So this was the guidance from DTM Abraham Thomas, who has guided me in every step, and he made me achieve the President's Distinguished Director. And now as well, I am the club retention chair for District 105, working with DTM Jamil Shakila as the CGD, and he even guides me right now. Next picture is of DTM Peter Karaganiasis. Can you see my arrow? He is DTM Peter Karaganiasis. He is a Greek and has represented UAE as well as Greece to the semi-finals in the World Championship of Public Speaking. This person has taught me how to speak. Be confident. He taught me the evaluations. He taught me how to keep a smile when you speak, and many more. So in the photo, you can see me holding a trophy, right? This is his trophy after winning the District Toastmasters Annual Convention in 2019 in Dubai. He came down from the stage and handed me his trophy, saying, "This is yours." This is a bond we have grown over the years. Last month, he even invited me to a club meeting in Bulgaria and made me speak there. So that is what a kind of relationship we still have. And then comes the Encyclopedia of Toastmasters, DTM Sunil Kotharatil, regional advisor for 7 districts in our region. We belong to region 11, and he is the regional advisor for 7 districts. A person who has always held my hands in good and bad days. Always, I say, right from day 1 till after 11 years in Toastmasters, he always holds my hand. Even now, for smallest or maybe a silly question. This is the person whom I go to most for my silly questions. I go to him, ask him a weird question. He gives a wild laugh, and then he solves my problem. I am highly indebted to my mentors. Dear friends, I wish you an exciting journey ahead in Toastmasters, and hope each one of you be a part of a mentor-mentee relationship and excel as accomplished Toastmasters, and more importantly, as common human beings as we all strive to. I hope I could give you a glimpse into this exciting aspect called mentoring, and it's up to all of us now to make the magic happen. So I will just show you how to manage your club's mentoring program. These are some of the resources available in the Toastmasters website. If you just go to Google and search, you will be getting all those. And these, I personally suggest that these are very, very important in a mentor-mentee relationship program. So just go through it. Many of you might know as well, but just go through it, and I think it will be very helpful to all of us. Over to your Toastmaster, Aruna.